Garfield Park Plant Conservatory, and this interesting shrub with opposite leaves, and at each node you find 3 leaves. So it is a kind of world of phyllotaxy where 3 leaves emerge at each node, and these are the flowers, pendulous flowers, the yellow corolla, and they are hanging from cylinder stem. What is unique about this plant is this belongs to coffee family, Kadamba family, and this plant came to the limelight after the efforts of a curator, botanist, Breedlove. He was the pioneer in exploring the wilderness of Mexico, and it was the year 1976 when he collected this plant after seeing it growing on a cliff. But at that time he didn't know what this plant is, and he was able to procure some seeds, and then way back in university along with Lawrence, this plant got identified only in the year 1987. So it took about 11 years, and then they came to the conclusion this is a new plant new to the science, and very unique plant. So it was named as Dapia splendens, and this plant they wanted to see again, and another expedition was organized, and they scanned the same area. Later, in the second expedition, they could not find this particular flowering plant because the area has been diverted for kind of agriculture, and there was a clear felling in the area, and we lost this species in the wild. So here it is written its name. Popular name is golden fuchsia, although this fuchsia is not the fuchsia we are familiar with in Kashmir or Delhi or Hyderabad, which is cultivated as ornamental plant. That fuchsia magellanica with jhumka like purple pink blossoms is quite decorative, and that is from different family. But this plant has the superficial resemblance to those pendant flowers of fuchsia. So this is golden colored corolla, and therefore named as golden fuchsia, although this is not treated or classified under the genus fuchsia. It is in another genus Dapia splendens, and family Rubiaceae. It was native to Mexico. Why it was? Because this is the plant or shrub which is extinct in the wild. No location on this planet where it thrives in the wilderness. So it stands introduced to San Francisco Botanical Garden, and also in the Garfield Park Conservatory. And I am lucky to see this plant, which stands extinct in the wild and found only under cultivation. This wonderful plant from Kadamba family, coffee family, Rubiaceae, with pendant, hanging, drooping, golden yellow blossoms, and with chocolate pink calyx. And this unique plant, Dappia splendens, is a reminder to the conservationists and to the nature lovers that whatever plant we see today, it may not exist tomorrow. If we don't take care of habitat management, if we don't preserve the pristine habitats and go on exploiting the habitats or diverting the land use change, ultimately we will lose the species, as we have lost this Dappia splendens, golden fuchsia, wonderful plant from Rubiaceae, which first discovered by Breed Love along with Lawrence, and they named it in 1987 after a gap of 11 years as Dappia splendens. And in second expedition to Mexico, they visited the same area, but to their astonishment they could not find, as the area has been clear felled and diverted for some other agricultural use. So this particular plant, Dappia splendens, has beautiful flowers, so it is splendens, but it's extinct in the wild and it is seen only in parks and gardens, botanical gardens and plant conservatories, as I am showing you in Garfield Park Plant Conservatory. This is a true flower and it has very broad leaves, as we find in any other plant of Rubiaceae. So there are two main groups which we should be familiar, and we are familiar. The one is the cone bearing plants, which are conifers, and others are flower bearing plants, which are the flowering plants or angiosperms. So this is Dappia splendens, a angiosperm, a true flowers. And when we look at these are palms. These are again having the flowers. So these are also angiosperms, flowering plants. But there are cycads, which though superficially look like palms, but they are basically gymnosperms. And what are the differentiating character of the two group of trees? That is, on one hand we have gymnosperm, other hand we have angiosperms. We have the seed. Seed is enclosed within a fruit in case of angiosperms, whereas seed is naked in case of gymnosperms. So here in this palm also we find the seed enclosed inside fruit. So this is not cycad, this is not gymnosperm, but rather it's a pine. And this is the pine house. So many palms, different palm diversity, all have these aggregation of leaves at the tree trunk summit, and mostly the trunk below is naked. And there you can see one particular Licuella grandis palm with fan-shaped leaves and red fruits. This is another palm, but they are angiosperms, not to be confused with flowering plants, which are angiosperms and having the seed inside the fruit. So golden fuchsia, Dappia splendens, extinct in the wild, is unique plant which I have come across in Garfield Park Plant Conservatory. Which is this tree which is before you? So when you look at this tree, you find the phyllotaxy is opposite, two leaves at each node. Leaves are broad and they have midrib and the side veins. And when you look at the leaf shape, lamina. So definitely you will conclude that this tree is angiosperm tree, flowering tree. But this is not. As you find on the uppermost twig, there is a kind of strobilus emerging from the axil of two leaves, and this looks like a strobilus. In fact, this is gymnosperm, not angiosperm. And this unique gymnosperm is Nitum. So here they have mentioned its name, Nitum niman nitesi. This occurs in wild in northeastern India, Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram. But this also grows in Indonesia, Philippines, Pacific Islands, Fiji, and this is the only species of Nitum which is tree-like. Otherwise, mostly Nitum species are lianas. They are woody climbers. They are woody no doubt, but they are climbing plants, so they are called lianas. But here this particular species is the tall tree. It grows 10-12 meter tall. Here it is a glasshouse, Garfield Park Conservatory, so it has already touched the roof height. And this unique Nitum presently not facing any threat. But if we don't take care of such unique species and the habitats where these unique plants grow, then one day it may also meet the fate of Dapia splendens, as this particular flowering bush has faced. It is extinct in the wild and seen only in the arboreta, botanical gardens and plant conservatories. So this is no more available in the wilderness. But Nitum niman with unique phyllotaxy is also unique in wood anatomy. There are gymnosperms. They have the tracheids, but no xylem vessels. But this particular unique gymnosperm has the xylem vessels. So this is one difference which segregates it from other gymnosperms. Another character which differentiates it from our familiar conifers like pines, firs, spruces, cypress trees, junipers is that its leaves are quite broad. Lamina is quite broad. Broad leaves are not seen in our familiar conifers. So this is another character which differentiates it from the true conifers. There was a time when it was placed in the order Nitales along with the two other genera which are unique. One is seen in Ladakh and also in Kashmir, that is Ephedra, and Ephedra also grows in North America. And Ephedra has scaly leaves, not broad leaves like this Nitum has. So that Ephedra gerardiana, Ephedra intermedia, or Californicus, many other species, that genus Ephedra is also included within group of Nitales. But there are other workers who segregate all these genera, Nitum under Nitales and Ephedra under Ephedrales. Third genus, which is very similar to Nitum, but again quite bizarre look, and unlike Nitum, that is Welwitschia. Welwitschia mirabilis, only genus, monotypic genus Welwitschia, which is the plant having 2 leaves, and 2 leaves are very long, thick, and 1 to 2 meter long, and only 2 leaves are present during the whole life of 2000-year-old specimen of Welwitschia mirabilis. So that unique and gymnosperm is also closely allied with the Nitum. And Nitum is also seen in Eastern Africa, especially the Welwitschia mirabilis is found only in Angola and Namibia. And this unique Nitum nemon, which is a tree-like, is also exploited for its medicinal qualities as well as edible qualities. In Indonesia, its young leaves, the tender foliage is cooked as vegetable, added to the soups. Even seeds are collected, they are cooked, boiled or roasted, and they are powdered to get the Nitum flour and used for making chips. In Indonesia, Nitum chips are also very familiar and available in the market. This Nitum nemon, apart from edibility, has also medicinal qualities. Its roots are exploited, its leaves are exploited, its seeds are exploited for curing some respiratory ailments, even arthritis. Why the natives, where this tree-like Nitum, unique gymnosperm grows. This particular plant from a distance looks like as if it is some kind of Diospyros. It is not. You may confuse it with some kind of mango. It is not, as the leaves are opposite. And mostly Nitums are dioecious. Male and female strobili grow on different tree specimens, tree individuals. Male strobilus has cup-shaped bracts, and strobili is cylindrical, and many cups are placed one above the other, and from a distance that gives a look of mulberry fruit and superficial resemblance to some kind of flowers, as we find in Laraceae. But they are not. They are not flowers. Seed has the, on maturity, pinkish, purplish outer covering, but that is the covering of the seed, not a true ovary wall. In case of flowering plants, the true fruit develops from the maturing of the ovary, and inside the ovary we find ovules. But here, whatever we see in the female strobilus, that is the ovule itself, not the ovary. So, similarity is superficial. Latest molecular genetics, however, is supporting again these plants, especially the Nitum species. They diverged from the conifers, pines, firs, spruces, about 245 million years back, during Triassic time, during dinosaur time, over 24 crore years back. They diverged. But looking at Nitum, it is hypothesized that it is more closer to the bizarre looking Welwitschia mirabilis. and it is distantly related to ephedra. Ephedra, which is called Shepath in Ladakhi language, or Som Lata. In Rajasthan, that is Ephedra foliata, different species. Ephedra foliata, which grows in Rajasthan, Jaisalmer, that is a climbing habit. And leaves are scaly. Leaves are not that broad. But here you see plenty of leaves, all the typical twigs. And this particular plant, which is Neetum, is very unique, and it has this kind of leaf arrangement, phyllotaxy, and even there are some kind of strobili. See, and after discussion with the expert staff in the Garfield Park Conservatory, I am told it is about 16 years old tree of Neetum Neeman, which is growing in the Garfield Park Conservatory farmhouse. This is the plant which is not threatened, but many species of Neetum are threatened, and habitat conservation is the concern. I am really mesmerized to see Neetum Neeman growing here in Garfield Park Conservatory. And second is Dacia splendens, which I noticed for the first time. I will show you another unique plant, Vidyarthi mirabilis, which is also growing in the Park Conservatory. Garfield Park Conservatory is known for unique plants, and another unique fig is before me, and this fig is Ficus pseudopalma. Very unusual leaves, very lower leaves, and this is Philippine fig. This is angiosperm from the family Moraceae, Philippine ficus pseudopalma, native to Philippines. Very unusual leaf. Leaves look like dilinia leaves. Very long and broad leaves, more than 2 feet. And there are some figs also. And this Philippine fig is unique fig, native to Ficus pseudopalma, as it is known in botany. It is native to Philippines. But what I was talking, you will see unique Vidyarthi mirabilis here in this desert house, where they have kept only those plants which grow in deserts. Here there is a less rainfall, there is dry pebbly soil, high temperature, and that plant which is more closely related to Neetum Neeman is this one. This is a tree with only 2 leaves. The Vidyarthi is unlike any other tree. Though it has a resemblance, it is closely allied to Neetum Neeman. It can live 2000 years or more in the deserts of Southwest Africa. It produces only 2 leaves. That is a unique thing. In Neetum Neeman, we found many leaves. Its trunk grows to a height of only 2 feet, whereas Neetum Neeman grows to a height of 10-12 meters. This plant is quite young. Grown from a seed, only in 1993 it was raised. So this is not that older, hardly about 31 years old. Vidyarthi mirabilis. as the plant grows older, these two leaves will continue to increase. They will not be replaced by any other pair of leaves. They increase in length because of meristematic tissue present at the base of the leaves, and they may split, giving it the appearance of having many leaves, but basically these are only two leaves. They are cut lengthwise because of harsh environmental conditions, and they look as if there are many leaves, but basically this is a one leaf on this side, although it has got tear in the middle. So this is one leaf and this is one leaf, only two leaves, but if you count more than two, that is because basically the leaf lamina has been teared up, and because of that tearing, this unique leaf is just trailing, and only two leaves will take the function of photosynthesis throughout the life of this unique gymnosperm. This is Welwitschia, also known as the octopus of the desert. Why octopus? Because it has very long limbs, and somebody may have counted as 8, as octopus has the 8 limbs. Although here leaves are only 2, but because of longitudinal splitting, sometimes you may find specimens with 8 kind of segments, or basically a pair of leaves. So somebody named it as octopus of the desert, and this is unique to the Namibia and Angola, the southwest Africa. So this is also from the group Nitopsida or Nitales, but you see this is also bizarre looking. So no resemblance to actually to the Nitum Niman, which I just showed you. That is looks more closer, superficially at least, to the angiosperms, the broad leaves, whereas here leaves have the longitudinal veins and no networking of these veins. And these are the strobili. These are the cones which produce pollen. It seems to be male, not female plant. And this unique tree stands preserved in the desert house, which has not only these unique plant of Welwitschia mirabilis, but there are bizarre looking some other trees which are also adding unique plant. Before me is myrrh, which is a kind of commiphora. So this is commiphora species. Commiphora vitae is also grown or seen in Rajasthan, Gujarat area. But this unique commiphora is native to Central Asia and Northern India. So it should be Commiphora vitae. As they have mentioned Northern India, then we have only one species, which is Commiphora vitae. But there are some other unique plants which I noticed here in this desert house. This is Aluardia. This is Aluardia ascendens from the Apocynaceae family. So this is a succulent, but this is not a cactus. So there are 3 different families which all exhibited the succulent habit. Cacti, in the Cactaceae, they are also succulent and fleshy. Then some members of Apocynaceae, oleander family, they are also showing this habit. Then Crassulaceae, for example, this one, this is a Crassulaceae plant. This is also showing that fleshy habit. This is Gasteria excelsa. This is from Liliaceae, from the onion family, Gasteria. This is also showing that habit. And unique plant here. This is another plant from Apocynaceae, Raffion nacme, Flanagani, Apocynaceae member. Very swollen cortex stem at the base, and then climbing habit, and the leaves are borne on this climber like plant. So this is again unique plant. And here I will show you the unique moringa, which is unusual in having this bottle shaped trunk, and this moringa drumstick tree is unique to Africa and named as bottle tree. Moringa drauhardi. So this is Kalanchoe baharensis, elephant ear Kalanchoe. And this particular is Madagascar palm, Tachypodium lemerii. This is again an example from Canir family, Apocynaceae. Leaves are present. This is the true cactus where no leaves are seen. But spines, you see, these are basically modified leaves. In case of Euphorbiaceae, you find leaves, and this particular euphorbia, for example, leaves are present. Despite leaf presence, they may show this kind of habit, which is a fleshy succulent. It's not cactus, because here you find the fleshy habit along with the leaves. If no leaves, only then it is cactus. So this is not cactus, this is a wonderful plant here.
Gave you all the information?
Yes, I am really amazed. Paper spined cholla, Tephro cactus articulatus. So wonderful day.